Hello, everyone. Welcome to 1111 Butterfly Effect, and welcome in the month of April 2021. Yes, we're calling it the month of open arms, open minds, and open hearts. Yes, that's April for us. April showers, spring flowers, right? Yeah. And of course, thank you all for joining my divine spirit, the oracles, and I here at the table for this new month check-in for you out there listening. For you and your connection, for you and your journey. This message is for you. So we're going to get right to it right after I mention a couple things. Something very interesting, definitely a divine message, divine signs, and I need, it's like a must, I'm being compelled to share it with you. So before we get to the message, the new month check-in message for you out there listening, I want to talk about what's been in the cards lately is about endings and new beginnings. That's really been a lot in a lot of the readers and channelers' messages. It's really been a lot of them have been about endings and new beginnings, moving forward. And that was what March was about, the Forward March month, right? Now we have ended March with a roar, and I'm going to tell you about that in a moment. And we're beginning April now. Yes, the April showers, spring flowers month. The month of open arms, open minds, and open hearts. And the signs have just been bombarding, really. But before we get to those signs, in the last 24 or 48 hours, as March was ending, as the month of March was ending, boy, I had some major endings go on for me. I'm not sure about you. Please leave in the comments if you have had any major faux pas, conundrums, or happenings in the last 24 or 48 hours as this month of March 2021 was coming to an end. And for me, in the last 24 hours, as March was ending, my phone quit working, my cell phone. It started some supernatural phenomenon was going on. Okay, it was just automatically going into airplane mode or emergency only mode, and I didn't know it. I was missing texts, I was missing calls. I had finally figured it out, and I didn't hear from my nephew who was supposed to come over. So I picked up my phone and discovered it wasn't working. I shut it down, turned it back on. Same thing, it kept happening, so I had to replace my phone. It was broken. There was no going back. It's still working, but it's intermittent. For whatever reason, there's a glitch in the software. So, in the last 24 hours, my phone has quit working and I've had to replace it. Secondly, my toaster almost caught on fire. Yes, I was making some toast and I walked away from the kitchen and I realized the toast hadn't popped, and I went back into the kitchen. It was full of smoke, and it looked like there was flames coming out of the toaster, so I had to unplug it and take it outside. Yes, the toaster is finished. Kaput! It's done. Okay? So, my phone is done. The toaster is done. The month of March is done. Okay? Yeah, March has ended, right? The Forward March month has ended, and we're ending it with a roar. And of course, not so dramatic is my truck tags. Registration tags expired yesterday, or March 31st, 2021. So my phone quit, my toaster caught on fire just about. The month of March has ended with a bang, a roar, and my truck tags expired. Yes, I got my tags in the mail. Thank goodness. Put those on. So, a lot of endings for me. Not sure what's going on for you, but for me, and if I really thought about it, there's a couple more, but those were the most poignant. Sudden. My phone was working perfectly fine. Then suddenly it quit working. The toaster was working perfectly fine. Then suddenly it quit working. My truck tags, of course, on the other hand, I knew they were expiring. And of course, the month of March, I knew it was coming to an end, right? But endings were taking place. And just as those endings were taking place, new beginnings were beginning. Yeah, already as these endings were ending, new beginnings were beginning. And that was shown in the signs that I've been receiving for days, for weeks, actually, for months. But we'll zero in on the last week, besides the numbers, because I can show you pages and pages of screenshots of numbers on my phone, numbers I've seen on the stove, numbers I've seen other places, right? Well, lately, like this past week, I've been seeing twins. I think I've seen like 4 sets of twins. I've seen lookalikes. Several lookalikes recently. The name signs and the names are coming up. Music, supernatural phenomenon is happening here. Something really, you know, I'm in charge, yep, but I'm not in control, right? Something else is in control, most definitely, and that's divine. And here's some proof for you, okay? So we have some endings. My phone quit, toaster almost caught on fire, March has ended now, and my truck tags expired. And now let's get to the new beginnings. Well, new beginnings have begun. April has begun. And this is no joke. No April Fool's joke, okay? We are officially in the month of April. April 1st, 2021. Crazy, huh? But here we are. And something, strange and curious has happened recently. I take my dog for walks all the time. And this morning, April 1st, I took my dog for a walk. And as we're coming back to the end of our walk, I took her in down this little parking slot in through this gate. And I always am very aware. Well, let's back it up a little bit. On our first part of the journey of the walk, I came across this feather, you see? And yeah, there's birds all over, but I mean, this was in a direct line of my path, and it was a windy, kind of a blustery day. It could have blown away, but it didn't. And it was calling to me to pick it up, so I picked it up. It was a sign. Something was coming. Okay, feathers are a sign, and colors in the feathers are a sign. So I figured something's coming. So I picked it up. We finished our walk, heading back to the complex. We walked into this parking slot and through this gate. My Chihuahua did her little business. We came back through this gate into this little parking slot, and I looked down, and there was this key. See that? When we walked through that little area just minutes before, this was not on the ground because I pay attention. And when we walked back, this was there. And this is a brand new, shiny key. And if you notice, it's unused. It's so brand new, it's like it's from the store, okay? There's no grooves in the key. Right? And you know what it says on it? SG1. Stargate 1, huh? I wonder if Stargate 1 is in Arizona. Because that's where I am, the Wild West of Arizona, USA. Interesting, huh? Okay, this is not for no reason at all. I just didn't miss it. It wasn't there when we walked through. It was not. It's a clear path. I noticed things. When we walked back, there it was. Right there. In the middle of this parking spot. Like, say this was the parking spot, it would have been like right there. For me to see it. And what's interesting also is that it's like a house key. It's not a car key. Okay, it's not a locker or a mailbox key. It's a house key. It looks like a house key. A door key. Door to a house, door to a room, door to an office potentially. And that it's new. It's unused. There are no grooves on the key. And it's super shiny. So I picked up the key and I'm thinking, okay, thank you. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Divine. What do I have the pleasure of receiving this key for? And they said, it unlocks something. And I said, well, what does it unlock? And they said, it unlocks a door. So a new beginning has begun. And today is proof I have received this key. I wish, that I carried a camera around and that I could record this stuff as it happens, but you can't always do that, okay? Can't. But interesting enough, okay, I came across this feather, a small, bright, white feather. It's almost like a baby feather. See how small it is? It's like a tiny little baby feather. Something's beginning. Something's being birthed here. Something's brand new. And right after that, finding the feather, I find this key. You tell me. You tell me what it means. Leave a comment in the comments. Leave your thoughts in the comments. You tell me what you think. Divine has told me what it is. This unlocks something. I have been given the key that unlocks something. Yeah. So, endings and new beginnings. And I'm interested and curious to see how this new month check-in message goes and flows for you out there listening. If that's happening for you, if this we've been having in the readings, in the messages, in the cards from Divine and the oracles, that endings have been happening. And I have proof. My phone broke. My toaster almost caught on fire. Okay, my truck tags expired. And the month ended. All in the last 24 hours. Boom. And all the signs. The twins I've been seeing. Physical twins. People, okay? Mostly children, but some adult twins too. The numbers, the lookalikes, the name, the signs, and music. Supernatural phenomenon. Okay? Symptoms. Awakening, ascension symptoms. Twin flame symptoms. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, body, mind, and soul, right? Definitely we are experiencing some endings and new beginnings. And, this is, very apparent that things are moving forward. And as it shows in what is happening, it shows also in the messages coming through. It shows in your experiences right now that you're having. And my new phone's coming tomorrow. Woohoo! So on that note, we're going to try and get to the reading now. And it's, again, very interesting. I'm going to keep you posted about this key and let you know what it unlocks. Somebody has given me a key. Now, very interesting what it will be. So, before we get to this reading, I'm glad we got to cover this endings and new beginnings. So much is going on. Like, I'm preparing for my 5th annual Easter egg hunt where I live, at the complex where I live. And tomorrow we're going to be decorating 80-something eggs. And filling like about, I don't even know how many plastic eggs with candy and money and things like that. So I'm going to be a little busy in the next 3 days. But I'll always make time for you. Somehow, some way, even if there's days between, I always find time for you guys out there. So let's get to this reading now and see what's going on for the new month of April for you out there listening. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back at you with this message, all right? Stay tuned. Thanks a lot for listening to my Endings and New Beginnings Quickie message. Bye-bye. Be right back.